Big changes coming along. From the 13th of June, retailers who are selling online to consumers are going to have to make lots of changes to their websites, their terms and conditions, and their confirmatory emails. Essentially what's happening from that date is that the current cancellation or cooling off period is going to be extended from 7 working days to 14 calendar days. That's going to result in retailers online having to make lots of changes to their current websites and their documentation. These changes are being made to bring the UK in line with similar rights and obligations that exist throughout the European Union. The idea being that where a consumer buys anywhere in the European Union, the procedures and their rights are going to be identical. The main change is that they're going to have to obviously change their websites to make it clear that the cooling off period's being extended to 14 calendar days. They're also going to have to make changes to the information they give to consumers before they buy. They're also going to have to put on their websites a standard cancellation form. Now, the consumer doesn't have to use that cancellation form, but they have to make that cancellation form available. They'll also need to make changes to their confirmatory emails. They'll also need to make changes to their terms and conditions. There's also another change they're going to have to make, which is they're going to have to change their order button. So instead of just having a button which the consumer clicks on which says order, it's now going to have the very snappy words order with an obligation to pay. If you don't make these changes, then the consequences are quite serious. First of all, you get into trouble with trading standards, but probably more importantly, the bigger risk for retailers is that the cooling off period extends from 14 days to 12 months, which means that someone can buy online, use the particular item for 12 months, and then go, hey, I'm now cancelling my contract, send it back, and you've got to give them their money back. If the retailers get it right, they actually have enhanced rights, because one of the problems of the old law was that if someone returned goods, if they were used, you had to give the money back. Now, if you're given the correct information to the consumer in the first place, then if the consumer uses the goods before returning them, you can make a deduction in respect to the loss and value of those particular goods. Get your web developer to make the changes, but it's very important you take legal advice. The new regulations run to 40 or so pages of quite small print, and therefore there's lots of stuff to get right on this. So we at Jordan's, we've developed our own audit where we can go through your website to make sure that it's compliant with the new law, and we actually go through all your procedures as well, so the whole ordering process to make sure it's compliant, because if you get this wrong, then the consequences can be quite serious.